Hi everyone, my name is Elizabeth Vendetti, and today we are going to discuss getting started with Canva. Canva is one of those programs that is very helpful when we are creating marketing materials, logos, documents, and everything to help support our business. So, when creating projects in Canva, you can create them in all different sizes. So today we're going to just start with a simple one, what we call kind of like an Instagram square post. Okay, so you can create all sorts of things in here for sizes, presentations, videos. Um, so depending on which platform you are working on, or if you're working on business cards or different things like that, they definitely have a sizing for that. So we're just going to start on an Instagram post square. Okay. Now, one of the first things to help you get started, especially if you're new in Canva, is templates. Okay. So templates are items that other creators on Canva have already created for us, and they're for public use. And then you can modify them for what you need and make them more according to your brand. So when you start up here in design, as you see, it's templates up here. Okay. So let's say we want to make a travel destination post. So you can start putting in keywords and then it will search templates based on this. So let's say travel destination. Okay, so as you see, it automatically comes up with some pre-done posts. Okay, all right, so, and then you can just pick from here and then it'll fill out your page. Okay, then it will give you other suggested ones. And you can either use those or do other ones. Let's do one more. I wanted to do the other suggested one. Oh, no, I don't see it. Let's see, I think it was Sahara. Yeah, let's do that one. Okay. All right. So now we already have three ready-made templates, but this may not fit our brand or the destination we're looking for, etc. So then we need to go to elements. Okay, so elements here has all sorts of different things. So as you use different elements, the recently used ones will be here. Okay, but you have everything from shapes, which are pre-done typical shapes, graphics. Okay, you have an AI image generator, stickers, photos, videos, audio, charts, polls and quizzes, so many things that you can pull from in Elements. So think of Elements as just anything you can add to a design. Okay, so let's start with the Sahara one. So you can see they've already got some of the text ready and different things like this. Okay, but let's say in my brand, I want a specific graphic. Okay, so instead of this here, I'm going to add some different items. Okay, so if you wanted to add a box, you can just click on the box. So let's say I just want to put this up here and have like my tagline or something. So clicking just brings an element on. And with elements like this, you can change and control the color. Okay, so you can have your loaded branding colors, or you can choose different default colors, gradients, or even get specific and use the shading tool. Okay. All right, so I'm going to move these two elements down. And let's say I want to put my call to action here. Okay, so I want to put text. So under elements, you'll find text, and then you can add a text box. If you have set up your brand, again, you'll have your brand font set up. But let's go ahead and just add a text box here. All right, so let's say we just want a call to action of message us to get started planning today. Okay. Okay. So something simple like that. Okay, so now we've added an element and then we've added text. Okay. In the text, we can change the font. Okay, so when you click on the font here, let me see. See how it already has Proxima Nova here. This one's Proxima Nova. This one's Proxima Nova. So let's say we wanted this to match. You can just go in here and it will show you what is already on the page. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and choose bold and black so that it's similar text. And then I want to make this a different color that matches more of my background, okay? So as you can see, it takes this picture from the background and it provides suggested colors to match. So I'm going to pull this one, okay? So that way it kind of pairs with the background and helps it kind of stand out as well. And with font, you can change the sizing. Okay, so you can change it manually there, or you can go like this and it does the same thing. You can stretch it out. Okay. And if you choose to drag it and find the center, you'll notice a hot pink line shows up when it's in the direct center. And you'll notice it's trying to center on multiple things here. Okay. But when right here, that hot pink that shows up, let me get to it. So see how like sometimes it doesn't want to center? You just hit position and center. Okay. That way you know it's spaced and justified on the edges. Okay. So for here, I obviously don't want this to be my logo. So if you have preloaded your logo in your brand, you can, or if you've uploaded it previously. So I've already created a brand. So I'm going to go to the branding tab. Now this is a pro feature, but you can upload any designs or use one from another page that you have, not a problem. Okay, so instead of this, I'm going to use my logo. Okay, so then you can just delete that element, put your logo here. And then I don't really want it to say anything, so I can just delete this item. Okay. So this gives it a little bit of branding for myself, a little call to action, and then obviously I want to kind of go ahead and change these items as well. Okay, so this is what they're going to call me. So if you comfortable putting your number out here, or if you have a business line, it's always a great thing. Okay. Now, if I want to make the font bold, italic, underlined, striped through, all caps, okay, you have all of those options here. So I'm going to go ahead and just make it bold. Okay. And then any of these elements that are here and unlocked, you can move around. Okay, so for example, I want my phone number here and I want my website, but I don't want them separated. Okay. So I'm just going to take this out, that out, update this with my info. And then this just extends your box. Highlighting allows you to grab all the text, make it bold. And again, you can increase the font size. Okay. So now I've kind of made this more of my graphic than it was when it originally started. Okay. And then again, if you want to change colors, you can go right up here to the text and then change colors. This right here will let you do a much more tailored color. So you can see the color down here based on where you're sliding the scale. Okay, and another thing, let's say I want this orange. Okay, so see how it pulled that exact color of what I have. Okay, so I actually want this to stay white, but I think I want to put this to here. So another thing you can do is you can copy what's called the hex code. And then when you go here, it's already used it before, so it knows it. But if you wanted to add a new color and you had it, you could just paste in that hex code. Okay. But otherwise it does already have it. So I'm going to make it match here. And then I'm going to bring this back to white. Okay. So that's a pretty simple way to make it your own. You can take things and move them around. So let's say I just want the logo actually over here now. All of these items are able to be edited. Okay. So let's take a look at a couple others here. So for this one, I don't really like this picture here, so you can delete it. Okay, so this one is connected with the orange, so you'll see how different elements have things connected. Okay. This is going to be my background. But let's say I want to see if I can replace that image or at least cover it with a different city. So let's say Chicago skyline. Let's see what I can get. Now, graphics are different from photos. Photos are actually photos, but graphics gives you much more of like icons and those types of elements different from an actual photo. Okay, so let's see what this one looks like. So this first one can be deleted. This one, as you see, is paired together, so I can't do much on that one, but I might be able to cover it. Okay. Now again, as you can see, that doesn't really look good. So one thing you can do, again, on the keyboard, you can either go here to do elements that you've recently used. Okay, so I recently used a square, so I can just go back and do that again. So what you can do is something that's called layering. So I'm just going to layer this entirely behind. I'm going to change it to this color here. Okay. Now I can't see my skyline, so that means I want to push it back. Okay, I want the skyline that I chose to come forward one. So if you go to position, you can choose backward. Okay, so see how now in the different layers, you can't see that old cityscape. You see my new Chicago cityscape instead. Okay, and because it let me pick a color that blends in right here at the image, it doesn't look sloppy or anything like that. Okay, and then same thing. You can change all of these different elements here. So if I want to go in and add my brand, all of this stuff is editable. Okay, open that, make it bigger. Let's do a bold font. And I want it to stand out with this orange. Okay, so it already did suggest the orange here, so that's perfect. And then I just want it to be bigger. Again, position center if you don't want to drag it, or you can just drag the whole box to that bright hot pink line. Okay. All right. You can check your different elements, clicking center, center, and just making sure they're all where you want them. Okay. And then now it's kind of like a whole new graphic. So it's very similar, but it's tailored to what I was looking for. And I can always add more text if I wanted to say like Chicago across the front, or add something like that. So I like the black, but let's say I wanted the black to be just a little bit more transparent. We do have an option for transparency, and you can drag like this. Okay, but I like having it bold. Okay, personal preference. Now let's take a look at this one. They've already got what these are called are frames. Okay, so there's pictures already in these frames. But let's say I wanted to focus on one location. Okay, let's say I want everything Fiji. Okay, so you can go in Elements and type in Fiji. It's going to bring everything up to do with Fiji. Graphics, photos, videos, shapes, anything it can find. But I want to do these as photos. So for the jet ski, let's start with this one. You can just drag it in and it'll drop it. Now, as you can tell, it's kind of like a weird part of the photo. So all you have to do here is drag it. Okay, so that way you're kind of seeing that shoreline there. So similar, I want a pier walkout here. So I'm going to choose this one. So when you just click it, it puts it in the graphic. Okay, so you can take it and then if you hold it down, and you'll notice it takes over that frame. Okay. And then if you double click, again, you can kind of move it to where you want. I'm going to put it right there and then click out of it. Okay. Then you can scroll through different ones. I like the one with the family here. It's still close enough to beachy. So let's try to find one more here. I'm going to do the waterfalls. So again, if you click on the one you want to go to, and then you can just click and drag, it'll go in. Double click on that frame again and choose where you want that photo to line up. Okay. Now, let's say you wanted this photo in a different direction. You can hit flip and choose horizontal. Okay, so then that way the coastline's kind of going this way. So you have some options here. Now, I don't like this blue, so let's say I wanted to do a different color on here. I want to make it white. Okay. Then let's say white's too drastic. You can change it up. So if you again want to match one of the colors here, and then let's say you like that color, but you want it a little bit brighter. Again, you can go up to this thing and you can kind of tailor the color you want. Okay. So I'm fine with the fonts here, but I think I want a little bit better color than this yellow. So again, you can just change the color. Okay, so now we chose this color. I'm going to do the same down here. Now, it gives you an option to change all. So let's say everything black, it changes to green. I don't want to do that at the moment, but it is an option. Okay. Then I can change each element to match the colors I want. I'm going to take out the phone number here. Change that here. Now, if I want to select more than one thing, you can click on one, hold Shift, and click on the other, and they're contained together and they'll move together. Okay. Or you can hold your mouse down and see how it's starting to build a box, and then two things are put together. And see here, I went too far, now three things. Just click again and go for your two. So then if I want to move this over to here, and then put this as my site, I can increase the size again. Okay. Now, every little item is able to be clicked on. So if you're fine with like how destination is, but again, we want to change these colors, just click on it. And then for these, let's see. Now, I want all three of these other boxes that haven't changed yet to change. So then yes, change all, and now they're all the same color. Okay. When you're using a graphic, you'll see this little rotate button. This is to change things around. Okay. So let's say you can see here how this one's kind of turned. I could turn it that way, do it straight, or have it just a little bit kilter. Okay. So you have a lot of different ways that you can move things around. And again, we've done our templates. We've changed the elements to what we want. We've changed some of the fonts and some of the colors. Now, let's say I want to go ahead and download these. You just choose share. Now, when you choose share and hit download, PNG is usually what you use for pictures to like post on social media. It automatically chooses all pages. Okay. But if let's say I've just wanted one, all you have to do is choose which one. Okay. So if you wanted the current page, you just undo the 1 through 3 and you could do current page, which is going to give you page 3. Or instead, you could just pick page 1 and then you hit done and then you hit download. Okay. And then you'll get a message here showing that it is downloading it. Go to your downloads here. Okay. And there's my graphic. So now I can go and use that to post on Instagram, Facebook, etc. Okay. So that's some of the basics here on starting with a template, making it your own, choosing different elements, fonts, colors, and more. Okay. And then if you want to just keep adding pages, maybe you want to go ahead and make this whole file like 30 days. So you'll have 30 different ones. Okay. You just hit add more. And then all you would do is if you want to keep using graphics, it'll automatically show you similar things that it thinks you might want based on what you've already put. So then you could go on and just continue adding them. If you don't like these anymore, you just go back again. And then you can start adding others. So this is a great way to take some of the templates that are already in Canva and go ahead and create a month's worth of content, all tailored to your brand. Okay. So that concludes our training today. And we've gone over templates, elements, fonts, colors, and how to download our creations here in Canva. So I want to thank you for watching how to get started with Canva. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us in the comments or directly to me. My name again is Elizabeth Vendetti. If you'd like to see more travel training like this and other tips, Feel free to subscribe so that you're notified every time we do a new one of these. And if you have any ideas for future trainings, feel free to drop in the comments your ideas for other trainings that we can go ahead and provide.